Hola, mi amigos. It's I, Felix Fuego, producer of The Nest Out West. I had to say, it's about fucking time Howie Roseman lets his coach pick his own staff. Cause Howie, no one picks your own nose, right? And no one picks your own ass. Just like no one picks Mr. Lurie's nose, and no one picks Mr. Lurie's ass. Except him. Well, maybe you do, Howie. Maybe you do.
What is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I am Philly Foothills, and I am back in the Nest Out West, where I'm trying to bring you the best when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles content. And Philbillies, I am January juiced. Like I said earlier today, even more so now, because looks like things are headed in the right direction, front office wise, especially when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, again, kudos to Nick Sirianni, first off. But before I get into that, again, this is the Nest Out West. I go by Philly Foothills. If you haven't already done so, and you are new to my channel, and you like talking Eagles football every single day, just about, damn near, I try to get a video in every day, even in the off season. So if you like talking Eagles football, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. That way you get more of my content. And if you want notifications of my content, go ahead and ding that bell up in the corner. And if you like this video today, I'd greatly appreciate it if you go ahead and hit that thumbs up down below. So, yeah, Philbillies. Again, kudos to Nick Sirianni, because obviously he stood up to Howie Roseman in the interview process and said, "Hey, man, look, dude, you may have controlled Doug Peterson's staff, but if I'm going to be head coach of this football team, I'm going to control this staff." Kudos to Nick Sirianni for standing up to him, and for letting his voice be heard to Mr. Lurie, because it definitely looks like he is getting to siphon out the coaches that he doesn't like that are supposed to be retained, because it looks like Dave Phipp, our former now special teams coordinator, has been given his walking papers, along with the tight ends coach Justin Peele, who has moved on to Atlanta. I think Dave Phipp I take that back. The Lions had requested to speak with Dave Phipp last week, and the Eagles front office said no. So obviously they were looking to keep him. And Sirianni probably said, whoa. This special teams hasn't been very special on this team, have they? Recently? Since Dave Phipp's been the special teams coordinator? No, hasn't been very special. So let's go ahead and get somebody new in that spot. So Dave Phipp's going to be moving on. I'm personally happy to see that, because like I said, I don't think the special teams has been very damn special these last few years. But you are my producer wants me to remind you guys, you are watching of course, Philly, I got it, no problem, Mr. Fuego. You are watching a Philly Fuego production, so yeah, let that be known. But yeah, I mean, that's just, I love to see that Sirianni is getting more control over the staff, because along with those two names who I've already named, Phipp and Peele, it looks like Matt Burke is either going to be moved to linebacker coach, or he's not going to be retained at all, because it looks like the Eagles are hiring defensive line coach from Auburn, who is connected to our defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, because they both coached together with the Titans in 2012-2013. And that's the defensive line coach from Auburn. His name is Tracy Rocker. I believe it's Auburn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is Auburn. My producer confirmed that. Thank you, Mr. Fuego. I appreciate that, sir. Yeah, a nice mask, by the way, Mr. Fuego. Nice new mask. I like that. It's a little more modern, and I think the fans are going to like that too. But yeah, nice mask, by the way, sir. If you guys missed that, check out the intro video. Mr. Fuego dropped a little intro video there. So, but yeah, so Matt Burke is either not going to be retained or he's going to be moved to linebacker coach, which probably is a more natural position coach for him to be, because that's what he's more comfortable in coaching, from what I was reading. So it's a couple interview updates. It looks like I said earlier today, the Eagles have requested to interview. I don't know if they've already interviewed him, but Shane Steichen, I think it's pronounced Steichen. He is currently the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, and he's getting a lot of credit for the development and the success of one Justin Herbert. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like he's probably hit between him, and it's kind of probably a toss-up between him and it's going to be up to see what happens with Jim Caldwell and the Houston Texans. So, but the Eagles also requested to interview, possibly already interviewed, I'm not fully clear on that, a Curtis Modkin, who is currently the running back coach for the Denver Broncos. And a lot of people are scratching their head about that, because he's mostly for 8 out of the 12 years he's been coaching in the NFL, he's been a running back coach, and he's only been an offensive coordinator for a couple of stints, one under Chip Kelly with the 49ers, and then he was the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills for a few years, but he's never had a offense in the top even 15. I think they've all been in the top 20 or lower, or I should say higher, because he hasn't had a whole lot of success as an offensive coordinator in this league. So I honestly think that the Eagles are probably interviewing him for more likely the running back coach position, which obviously I sigh when I say that, because the news came out today that Deuce Staley, longtime player coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, has requested his release from his contract. So thank you, Deuce, for your time in Philadelphia. Thank you for everything you've done for this organization. And hats off to you, sir, and much success in your coaching career and in all endeavors in your life. Deuce, you're definitely going to be missed in this organization, and I'm sorry that it couldn't work out that you could stay and move up in the coaching ranks, because I think you're one hell of a coach. But yeah, I'm juiced. I'm juiced because it finally looks like somebody has woken up Jeffrey Lurie and maybe put some smelling salt under his nose, and maybe even Howie Roseman's nose too, and woken them the F up and gave them a little, said, wake the f*** up. You're killing this team. You're meddling in areas where you shouldn't be meddling. I need to give a shout out real quick to one of my YouTube inspirations, Philly Mike at Philly Talk Podcast. If you guys don't know who he is a great Eagles content provider on YouTube. Check him out. It's the Philly Talk Podcast. He goes by Philly Mike. He puts a lot of great content out there, and I had the same quote written down for this morning's video, and I forgot to read it to you guys, but he had the same quote on his video. So shout out to Philly Mike for being the one that beat me to this quote. And like I said, if you guys haven't checked him out, go ahead and check him out. he's like I said, Philly Talk Podcast on YouTube, and he goes by Philly Mike, and like it, sub him up, and let him know that Philly Foothill sent you. So, in the Nest Out West. But anyways, the quote from Sirianni says, and I quote, "As coaches, what offensive scheme do you run? Question mark. It's the one that fits your players the best, comma, not the one you like the best. Figure out the type of players you have, their strengths, their weaknesses, maximize their strengths, try to hide their weaknesses." And that quote speaks volumes to me, because that means he's going to utilize some of these strengths of these players like Jalen Rieger and Miles Sanders more, and hopefully Quez Watkins, and some of these up and coming receivers that we possibly have in the ranks here. So I'm just really excited. It looks like there's going to be pretty much a whole new coaching staff and a young coaching staff. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see the direction of this team and to see how quickly they can turn things around. So, another real good positive from Sirianni and his coaching in Indy, and I think he could do the same thing with Miles Sanders, is Colts running back Jonathan Taylor ran for 1,169 yards and set the single team game record with 253 yards against the Jaguars in Week 17. So those are kind of the numbers that I like to see. Definitely, a lot of people are wondering, what kind of background does Sirianni have, as far as like where did he come from, things like that. Dude's 39 years old. He's just like a year older than me. He's going to be 40, looks like, in the middle of June. Definitely makes him the youngest coach to ever be hired by Jeffrey Lurie. He's from Jamestown, New York, and he was a receiver for the Division III Mount Union, where he was, somewhat successful. He's married to his wife Brett. They have 3 kids, Jacob, Miles, and Taylor. And the person who got him into the NFL was Mr. Todd Haley. So Mr. Todd Haley had met him about 10 years prior to Sirianni's start into the NFL, and they kept in contact. And then when Todd Haley was, I believe, the offensive coordinator, or maybe head coach of the Chiefs, either one, in 2009, that's when he brought Sirianni onto his staff. So, and I mean, Sirianni, it's not like he's had the same quarterback that he's had to deal with. He's dealt with Phillip Rivers, then he came over to Indianapolis, and then Andrew Luck. Obviously, Andrew Luck abruptly retires. And then he had Jacoby Brissett, and then this past season he had Phillip Rivers again. So, he definitely comes from a lineage of coaching. Nick has, let's see, he's got a brother. His brother Mike is currently the head coach at Washington and Jefferson, and he has a record of 156-36 as the head coach there. So that's not too bad. That's not too damn shabby at all. And he also has a dad and a brother who have also been head coaches in either college or high school. So he definitely comes from a line of coaches. He's got coaching in his blood. I'm just so damn fucking happy that fucking Howie is finally, and Mr. Lurie have finally given the coach the due respect and let him pick his own damn staff. I mean, did they do the same thing with Chip Kelly? I don't remember. If anybody remembers that, drop me a comments in the comment section. I'd greatly appreciate it. And it's just a breath of fresh air to know that this organization is is being smart enough to let this coach kind of set his own path. In other words, you know, they're letting him pick the, for the most part, they're letting him pick the people around him. Actually, for all of the part, I shouldn't say for the most part, but yeah, I mean, it's just it is what it is, right? And I think things are just going to get better. So, I think I've said my piece. So, like always, fly Eagles fly. And until next time, stay mean, stay green. And thanks for viewing me on your screen. Peace!